Hello, good morning everyone. So today we are here to show you about one of the urban legend places in Surabaya is Kalisosok Prison and also known as Penjara Kalisosok. First of all, let me introduce our group members. My name is Alina Chilmia and my last student number 101. There are also our group members. Here is Mochamad Aldy, last student number 53. And then there is Rohman Budi, last student number 68, and Dhodik Prasetyo, last student number 72, and Yowana Andan, last student number 78, and Putri, Reski, Amalia, last student number 97.
Hello, I am Muhammad Ali Teguh Prayitno, reporting from one of the most haunted and historical prisons in Indonesia. Yes, I'm here at Kalisosok Prison in North Surabaya. First, we will take you for a walk around it. Let's go.
The Kalisosok Prison is the most haunted dungeon in Indonesia. There is something mystical thing that is quite interesting to trace deeper. The history of Kalisosok Prison. Kalisosok Prison was built in 1750. In the past, the founders of the country such as Sukarno, HOS Tjokroaminoto, Rudolf Supratman, and famous criminals Kusni Kasdut once inhabited this place. What's the issue of Kalisosok Prison? There is one article said that there is a wall in Kalisosok Prison that cannot be nailed. Honestly, this wall prison has thickness is only 15 centimeter. But there is the strange thing is if the prisoners want to make clothes hanger, so the first step is must be to make a hole in the walls. And then they use the wood as a clothes hanger, then attach the wood with adhesive glue on the walls. One thing which can make you goosebump when the nail is need to be inserted into the wall, but the nail will immediately bend. And also there is another rumor. The local people often hear cries and ask for help. This sound is from inside the prison walls in every night. Until now, Kalisosok Prison is still famous for being haunted, and also if there is someone who passed through this prison, they also feel frightened. This prison has a characteristic Dutch colonial architectural style. And then here is one of the cultural heritage in Surabaya which can bring the characteristic of Surabaya as a city of heroes.
In general, the sense of prison is one of the special places built to detain, arrest, dig up information, and punish those who do not comply with the rules of a country. Colonial nations who had stayed in the country made prison a place of torture and punishment for freedom fighters. Surabaya is one of the cities that is decorated with historical heritage buildings. Many Dutch colonial heritage buildings are found in the city, both revitalized and abandoned. One of the Dutch colonial relics that has a history of prisoners is Kalisosok Prison. Many stories emerge from behind the walls of the prison that owns this dungeon. The name Kalisosok comes from the name of an area in North Surabaya, preciously located in the north of Jalan Raja Wali and Kembang Jepun. Although it looks unkempt, the entrance of Kalisosok Prison looks still very strong. On top of it, it is the office space of the prison guards. While on the left side of the door, there is a plaque notice heritage building protected by the Surabaya city government. While the right and left sides of the wall, about 3 meters high, also looks still very strong, even though it is mossy. In addition, Both from the inside and outside the walls, it looks overgrown with wild trees that are very dense. The prison was built during the reign of the 36th Governor-General of the Dutch East Indies, Herman William Tendels. The prison was in what is now Kembang Jepun and Rajawali and was controlled and used by the next colony, Japan, from 1940 to 1943. The prisoners, both fighters and commoners, suffered even more cruel treatment than the previous rulers. Many fighters have felt the bitterness of living behind these iron bars, some of them HOS Tjokroaminoto, where Supratman and the Proclamator of the Republic of Indonesia, Insinyur Soekarno. After Indonesia gained independence in 1945, it was still used but only the upper part of it, namely as a prison for political prisoners. While the basement was not used, the prison was used from the 1960s to the 1970s. Sa was Indonesians and beloved by the heated political situations and the emergence of movements and issues of communism. HOS Tjokroaminoto, the founder of Syarikat Islam, once languished in Kalisosok Prison. In fact, Merhenis and Surabaya people's fighter Dol Arnowo had spent 9 months in prison, was only closed in 2000. During the anti-fascism struggle, Kalisosok Prison also witnessed the arrest of anti-fascist activists who belonged to the anti-fascist People's Movement. Among the anti-fascist figures arrested were Pamuji, Sukayat, Sudarta, and Asmunanto. In fact, the main figure of the anti-fascist movement at the time, Amir Syarifuddin, was also arrested and imprisoned here. When the Allies landed in Surabaya, Kalisoso also witnessed the history of the courage of the people of Surabaya against British force. On 26 October 1965, British troops under Captain Shaw stormed Kalisoso Prison to free a Dutch officer, Colonel Huyer. In the New Order era, Kalisoso Prison also witnessed the abominations of the Suharto regime against the topple of the Communist Party of Indonesia, or PKI, and its people. Many of them, before being exiled to the island of Buru or Nusa Kambangan, had to languish and get tortured in Kalisoso. The New Order also made Kalisoso a place of imprisonment and oppression of people from East Timor. In fact, 2 activists of the Democratic People's Party, or PRD, who at the time opposed the New Order regime, also languished in Kalisoso Prison, namely Quen Hussein Pontoh and Muhammad Soleh. Kalisoso Prison is attacked as security by guards, but there are also prisoners who managed to escape. From 1968 to 1969, 7 political prisoners escaped from the thick-walled prison. The 7 couples are Parti Harsono, Pada Misan Karmaji, Karyano, Katis, Taha, and Sarman. In 1977, people were shocked by the news of the escape of a number of inmates from Kalisoso. The prisoners were named Roni Siswanto, Asmat, Raharjo, and Lukito. 3 of the so-called latter were recaptured. However, after investigation, the release of the inmates could not be separated from their skill in bribing officers to reduce the prison term. Kalisoso Prison also holds heroic stories. At the time, around October 1945, when news of independence managed to sneak into the prison, the prisoners formed an army named Laskar Panjara. The leader of this army is a rickshaw driver. His name is Major Dola. As Bung Tomo wrote in his book The Story of the War of November 10, published in 1950, it is said that the rebellion in this prison managed to break through the north side prison wall. Now, the area of the prison that reaches 3.5 hectares is not so well maintained. It appears from dusty and abandoned watchtower. The only part that is best preserved is the outer walls of the ex-prison painted by the city's artists. The walls are painted and strung with a friendly and pleasant atmosphere of the city, very far from the creepy impression.